Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful day out there in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful earth, on this beautiful earth. But hold on one second, of course. Come on. Last time it stayed, this time it did not. There you go. All right. I didn't want to be orange again. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's get the lemon into the water. Let's get the music back up and running. And let's break it down for you like we do every single day. We're going to take a look at what happened last night for Bitcoin, where we could go, what levels matter. Even though it is the weekend, anything could happen. I'm guessing, hoping for a sideways weekend, but we'll see. Put the lemon in the water, stay hydrated. Let's start our morning at 8:37, baby. All right. Okay. I'm going to move it forward a little bit more here. Yeah, right about, I'll start with the munchies. All right. And let's get live. I believe I'm live. I think I'm live. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Nothing but a Bitcoin flow. My man, I feel you. I see what you're doing there. I see what you did there. I like that. God bless everybody here. We're quick on the morning here because, you got a family. It's the weekend. If you got kids, you're blessed. And you got, they're all over you right now. You got to hang out. You got to do stuff. You don't want them sitting around vegging. You want to make sure you're hanging out. So make sure you and your kids are doing something. Have an activity planned for them or they will sit and watch TV. That's what they will do. All right. It's just what will happen unless you throw the TV out with the bathwater. All right. So let's take a look here. We are still inside of that sideways flag, but kind of more of like shoulder, kind of a head, shoulder. You see that looks like a complex head and shoulder pattern that could be dumping to the downside. So there you could draw your neckline. So right off the bat, my mind just sees something that could spell some trouble here and a bounce further to the downside for Bitcoin, struggling to get back above resistance at 66,400 BTC, and hit the low of 65,085 about, right, for Bitcoin. All right. So I was watching this flag to see if we could get back above the 200 SMA. If not, where are you likely going to go? Well, you're inside the channel. You just respect the channel technically. Let me lift this. Hold on. I'm going to delete everything. Get rid of the moving averages and fresh out. It's too much for me. It's probably for you too. I can see the smaller, but I got to see the bigger for it. My mind gets too cluttered and then I'm lost. And I don't like being lost in the sauce. So I always start fresh. I mean, the daily says you lost the sauce right there, but the 3-day chart suggests that you're still inside of a trend. So the 3-day chart says, hey, there's a chance we can hold on here and get a bounce. You got to respect that. I'm not saying it's happening for sure. I'm just saying it's now a possibility. Now, if we lose this, obviously we're coming down to test 64,000, right? We lose that, we're coming down to probably 58 and here. I don't know. But we'll see. Look at this level here. Bang on them. Right? What about this resistance level right here? Or this level right here? Right? So, you can see that was that daily that we really needed to hold. It was beautiful, 67,000. Once we lost that, we knew it was going to be 58, 65.5 because that's the next weekly support or resistance. So it's not all bad. It still could be somewhat of an inverted head and shoulder here. It's not the worst thing in the world. We are touching the 21-day moving average. Unless we break below the 21, I'm still bullish, right? So price action has to close a candle below this 21. That's something for sure that has to happen for us to be bearish. If you do it, usually, look, that was just a little bit. So usually in a really bullish move here, the 3-day chart won't lose too much of the 21. Right now, we're kind of right on it. There's still some movement there before we could get a bigger pullback. Moving averages are getting pretty tight on the 2-day and very tight on the daily. I tell you what, I'd say 9 out of 10 times when the moving averages are this tight, You do not dump down to the 200 SMA. No matter how grim it looks, you move to the upside, especially in an uptrend. But here, look, we got kind of close, but this is, look, see how tight we got right there? We didn't dump down to the 200 SMA. And every time, I mean, we've only been tight. Right there was the boom. Then we got tight for the second time. And we got the big boom. We're getting tight for the third time in this rally. And the daily usually I'm just being honest with you. And again, we might dump in my face in this, but it's just unlikely compared to the years of data that I have. So if we do make a dump all the way back down to 58.5, it will break, it'll just break trend from what I've put together for my years of trading. But again, who knows? And that's why anything can happen. You can't base one day of trading or 2 weeks of trading even based on years and years of data. It gives you an edge up into a point, but you always have to know that anything can happen. That's the crazy thing about trading. You always have to know that anything could happen. And that you're never going to be right. You're always playing a probability. If you get that in your head, you can soon become profitable, I believe. But once you always have to be right or wrong, you will always be by the qualms. You'll be at the your emotions will bring you to your knees, I guess will be the best thing to say. You'll be controlled by your emotions. So the daily has this falling wedge that we'd really like a break to the upside. That could be the measured move, but it might even just stop right there and start getting tight. Can we get a bounce here for Bitcoin? Right? Even there's a little bit of resistance there and so there's some daily support at 65,000. Can we get a bounce for Bitcoin? Can it happen? The M pattern tried its thing. Stochastics are curving below the dotted line. Not amazing. RSI is curving as well. MACD. Or do we make the massive M pattern? Complete dump. Boom. Meet the 200 MA at 59,000. Actually, that would, to me, for the first time, saying that just relieved me because I'm like, man, it would be so nice to get Bitcoin below 60K one more time, right? They say we're at 74 in greed, which is so weird. I don't see the greed, but I guess maybe it is that much greed. Maybe it's corporate greed. Maybe that many people are buying up behind the scenes, and it's just that's what it's come. So it comes down to this falling wedge here on the daily time frame. 22, showing signs of a green move here after a wick. The 4-hour having a bullish divvy. To me, that's quite substantial. This moves up here while this whole thing moves down. And that is bullish divergence, right? Guess you'd almost have to say it was like this. I don't know. It's so pretty wacky price action. And then we get to the 1-hour time frame. And to me, it's almost two different ideas, right? Like you got this broadening idea, but then you got this falling wedge here. And you can kind of still see that bullish dip. So there's some bullish divergence on the bigger time frame, the 4-hour, which suggests that you have bottomed, right? At about $65,000. That's what it's a really strong divergence too. And when you see it on the 4-hour, it tells you something. So that starts to build a story here that maybe we are beginning our move to the upside. But then look at the 15-minute overbought and curving down, and we had the whole stochastic move and we went completely sideways. Now we could continue sideways here, and then we're back to where we were before. So, and now I can get back into the nitty-gritty and I'm not confused. You see, and now here we are again with watching the shoulder, head and shoulder, and it's so interesting, right? How we went from, it's like we went on a journey together. Didn't you feel like we went somewhere? I don't know. I feel it's like the Magic School Bus, how she goes inside and then, right? Bullish divergence on Bitcoin on the 1-hour and the 4-hour looking good, yeah. It's an M pattern inside a bigger M. It could be too, yeah. So what does it look like for the day? Well, let's take a look. The 7-minute has breached the 200 SMA. You know what I mean? That's a bullish sign. So as long as the 7 can stay above the 200, we have ourselves some type of weird fighting chance here of going sideways and then still breaking to the upside. So unless we break below this, I stay bullish for the moment. You know what I mean? It's an inkling of bullishness. Obviously, bearish unless we get back above key levels. But right now, that's an inkling. The second we go back below this, expect more downside. It will be a rounded top type of thing. Shoulder, head, and shoulder will play out, and we will dump. And a good indication is to watch for the 7-minute to break below the 200 MA. Once you see that, and we could go through this gap here to the downside, right? Otherwise, we could go sideways and gear up for a possible Saturday afternoon, Saturday night pump here for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the liquidity and what we're seeing. So your goal for Bitcoin, I think your key to making money today, if you want to trade, is to not trade at all, because I don't trade Saturdays with low volume. But the key to trade, if you have to trade, you're forced to trade, which, I'm not a financial advisor, and I think I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice, so I wouldn't trade at all. But, to watch price action, the key to price action, we'll say, which is a better idea. So the key to price action is the 200 on the 7. If you don't go below that, we're going to just either go sideways or to the upside. I know that sounds crazy, right? It's like, but the second you see us flip below that, that will be, sir, your clarity about the 200 made my trading so good. That's the point, man. However, is there any way to see the 7-minute chart without trading view paid plan? I don't know. Jasmine, looks like it's going to move on the 8-hour. I lead as a bear when we start breaking the 200 MA on the larger time frames. Amen. Me too. Production cost just happened to be 59,857. Maybe nothing. Funny. The coffee on soul. Lifer with the alpha. Wow, that's a lot of production costs. Hope you're doing well there. That's nice. Can you check RSS3 AI, please? Pepe about to poop. Somebody says. Lifer style all day. Sam, love the macro video update yesterday. Thanks, my man, for always being there for guidance. Seize the day. I love you, man. God bless you. Sorry about the low. I forgot that I did it in the update form. And I just had to up the kilobits. Next week, it'll be in the highest quality. I really apologize what happened there. Almost didn't want to put it out, but the information is there, so it is what it is. Do you see Hugh Magic Triangle on the weekly chart? Possibly. So 66,200 Bitcoin slumping to the downside. And honestly, that is a head and shoulder pattern that doesn't look too good. And the 15-minute does look like it wants to dump on you. So we'll see what happens. And this is a strange, very weird flag of sorts here for Bitcoin. All right. Also, some get even, almost looks like a bear flag here too. So bearish signs for Bitcoin from kind of a shoulder, head, right shoulder, almost an Adam and Eve double top there. You see that? I've seen it do something like that. About to say, I'm like hearing something. I don't know what I'm hearing. I'm like, so that's basically, an Adam and Eve head and shoulder. Resistance 2 by about 66,400. So I see some bearishness for Bitcoin. Doesn't look good to me. So show me the signs. The only way out is if this flag begins to break and we get the pump to the upside. And that would take us to about where? Like 67.7. Now all we're looking for is to close above 65.5 for the weekly. No, we don't want to lose that weekly support. And then can we get back above 67,200 again? That weekly support or resistance, 67.3 now, that area. So it'd be great if we got a pump and we got back above that key level. That would put me to rest, at least that we'd be like, okay, put my mind at rest. That would put my mind at rest that we would be okay above, 67,200. But we'll go from there, one step at a time. I have to say we're more bearish than bullish because you keep making lower highs. So you would have to assume your next move is a lower low. All right. Unless we can break the trend, it looks like we could come down to 65 and even possibly come down and test 63,900 for Bitcoin. I got BOOKMAP cooking for you. BOOKMAP link in the description below if you want to know what's happening. It's a BOOKMAP, and that's still pushing the liquidity further to the downside, down to 64,000, suggesting that we go lower as well. That's the level that keeps coming up over and over again there. 64,220 here on BOOKMAP. So, I mean, I'm not a soothsayer. I just give you guys what's happening. What's happening looks to be, I just have the tools that give us the best information. Sir, seems like you're nailing marriage. Can you tell what women exactly want. Seems like you're nailing marriage. What women want? I mean, everyone wants to know what women want, but you have to know what you want, right? You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it's really not about want. Let's get rid of the word want, because want creates lack in your life. I don't use the word want. What do you desire? Desire creates passion and a link to action, right? When someone desires something, they. So if you desire, what you desire right now is what you're saying is a partner in life. You're saying you want a partner in life. That's what you're saying to me, all right? Right? That's what your question really wants. So you're not asking what women want, because that's a question that creates lack, because you don't know what women. I mean, it's just, you want to know how to attract a partner into your life. You desire a partner in your life, right? So if you desire a partner in your life, go to the gym and work out each day. There's likely going to be a woman in there that's working out, and you might smile at her. A lot of times, the gym is a great place to meet somebody. Why not, right? Number two, once you're going to the gym, you're going to feel a little bit better with yourself, no matter who you are or what you do. And that's going to spark some confidence. And with that confidence, you can use that to get yourself out there to say hi, right? I always go back to going to the gym. I'm serious, and everyone thinks, so really the beginning of having a good relationship is working out every day too. When my wife sees me working out every morning, she knows in her heart, wow, like he cares about us, like he cares about himself. And I work out extra hard in front of her sometimes to like really impress her, or almost, I'm not even doing it purposely. It's like I do it subconsciously, because I want her to know, like, man, I'm like, she married like one of the tough alpha men, like a guy that's gonna push himself when no one else is around. I don't even have a mom, I don't have a dad, I don't have anyone to really call me and say, hey Sam, like I don't have any standards anymore, right? You know what I mean? It's like, well, it's, I don't have the whole family, and I didn't have a larger family too much, so Jesus went into a hotel reception and threw some nails on the counter and said, can you put me up for that? Women want someone to make me laugh. I joined the local softball league and met my wife there. See? Yep. So people ask the wrong questions when they want to change their lives. That's what I've learned. You know what I mean? They ask the wrong questions. The real question, oh, this movie. It's weird, man. It's in the same place all the time, and then, all right. But I believe people ask the wrong questions. All right. Any chance to check Total 3 market cap? Yeah, we've been talking about Total 3, and I go over it all the time. I went over it yesterday for the macro video. Apparently, you didn't see it, because it was out like, I'm just messing. Same thing going on. The 7 is back above the 200 SMA, and this looks a little more inverted head and shoulder, like we could get a breakout here. So there's a chance here. What if the dollar just looks so sketchy that the big boys have nowhere else to go, and the money has to flow back into cryptocurrency? It's weird. Like, look, that's a head and shoulder right there on the dollar, right? And it's somewhat of a descending triangle. I'm just saying. That could make a dump to the downside, Again, you don't want to see it break back above the head at 105.81, but we'll be watching that closely for DXY. DXY did get above the 15-minute 200. You see what happened there? Look what happened when the DXY got above the 7. It got a nice pump. So the same thing's happening right now for Total 3. Can it get a nice little move back to the upside, right? Now, we're going to look at the bigger time frame, of course, but I just want you to stay engaged here and see like what has to happen. And everyone look at me like I'm crazy. Smaller time frames mean nothing, but then you would say this. So this is what I say to you. If you were going to walk out of your house and say you were going to go on a 10-mile hike, and you could do it from your house. Let's just say there was a path behind your house. There was one behind my old house, right? And you were going to go on a 10-mile hike. All right, for sure. Guaranteed, ready to rock. You got to open up the front door and take like 2 steps outside the front steps first, right? And so to me, that's the same thing as when I think about the smaller time frames. Like Bitcoin or Total or any market can't take a huge dump unless it loses a key level, and it can't make a huge bump unless it gets above the next level. So we watch the smaller time frames for confirmation. And before, you used to think, oh, that means nothing, because I would see them go up and down. But many times now I've seen the small time frames do it, and then they call the move. So like I'll see the 7-minute get above the 2. Then I'll see the 200. Then I'll see the 15-minute get above it. Then I'll see, next thing you know, we'll be pumping hard like this, and then I'll see us get above the 1 hour. And then with that, we'll break back above the 4 hour. And then I'll watch it, and then the 8 hour will get back above. You see? And then I'll be like, oh, we're bullish again. It's back on. And then I'm like, and then I'm swinging. Once that happens, I'm starting to swing into altcoins like crazy, and I'm taking more advantage. When we come down here, I'm back to DCAing, waiting for 618s, and I'm pulling back on my swing trades, right? When we're above the 200 SMA, we're in a good trend. I'm taking, even this little move, we took what we could. Even this little move. Remember, like, even in this little area here, this was the, May 30th, June, that beginning. That was when all those meme coins had a nice little, like, we've had this, like, nice little meme coin run, right? They've since come up and down, but, and this run was really nice too, right? At the beginning of May, that was really the meme coin run right there. It was like 2 to 3 weeks. Boom, right? Anyway, once we get above these, though, that's, like, right there. That's the big move, right? That's the big move. So we really got to recapture the 8-hour 200 to be awesomely bullish. And now, you can see how I'm bending this. And that's what happens. It is starting to look more like a falling wedge, right? Almost like a broadening falling wedge, because, like, you can't, like, that's the trend there. And it's kind of, I kind of tells you why. Did you really make a nasty drop that far? I mean, look at the gap, though, and you're already entering into the gap. Like, what if, I guess altcoins will get a massive sell-off? I'm just, I'm not saying that's going to happen. It's just weird. Like, look at that. Boom, right? They've tested this area before, though, and never fallen back down to support. So could we get a bounce? I mean, it's very crucial. Very crucial. I guess the best thing I can do pattern-wise is to come up here like so, right? But that's what we did and say we already lost it, Could make one last sweet attempt of a giant symmetrical here and say, can we bounce? But to me, that level that we lost that was key was right there, like 627, 625, we'll rebounced. Some bullish divvy, though, on that 4-hour time frame as suggested, which a lot of times does end up being your bottom. It's a very strong indicator. So can this falling wedge clean it up and break us back to the upside? And that 7 minutes going to be our guide. So otherwise we get resistance, and maybe we make a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder there and break on out. And it takes a couple more days throughout the weekend to make the right shoulder. So, but this is kind of what we're looking at. This is the total 3, the market cap of all of the altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Gonna really need to see this 7 minutes stay outside of the 200 and start to get a pump. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a movement here. And that is, look, a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder to the upside. So it looks like the altcoins might get a little bit of a pump here. People liking these prices. Good low prices for altcoins. Good place to scoop up coins that you didn't get a chance to get into, for sure. Never goes as low as you want. That's how you know it might be close to over. Shout out to Paul Wood. You never know, right? You never know. See, I went through all that stuff. At the end of the day, I'm just like, whatever, right? Sammy, good morning. I see ETH building an inverse head and shoulder on the 4-hour. What do you think? Yeah, same kind of thing going on. Let's take a look at Ethereum. You said an inverse. I mean, it's same thing going on here. It's the same exact thing you see on total, right? Because it's going to mimic the altcoins. They're going to follow that. ETH is actually leading. It double bottomed off the 200 and broke out already. So ETH looks like it's going to pump nicely. Back to 36.3, really. That's just what looks like it's going to happen. I see a pump for ETH to 3,600. After that, I'm not sure. We'll go from there. All right. Okay, Sammy, good morning. I see ETH building an inverse. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think you see this shoulder, head, right shoulder, and we can go to the 4-hour time frame. Or maybe this one, shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder. I'm not exactly sure. Same idea here, though. Can the 4-hour break out of the falling wedge back to the upside? And it's really, ETH is in the same. See, ETH is Bitcoin. I always tell people this. But if Bitcoin breaks out the wedge back to the upside, so does Ethereum. I guess Bitcoin just has more of a flatter top at the end of the day. Both have this, See what I'm saying? We need this bounce back to the upside. ETH did break back above the 7 minute. So now look, ETH's a guiding indicator. We can look now. ETH broke above its 15. Now you can look for your 30. It did. Now what about the 1 hour? All right. So here you go. So this is what I taught you. You can see ETH did it overnight. Now ETH, so you can see in succession, ETH got over the 7, the 15, the 30. Now it comes for the 1 hour 200. This is how it happens. It's like a flip book, right? I figured this out. This is my trading style. I'm giving it away. I shouldn't, but you never know, right? I gotta teach people my goal is to teach as many people as possible, regardless of how many people in the trading group, regardless of how many gains or what all happens. At the end of the day, my goal wasn't monetary value. My goal was to teach as many people as possible. So I committed to God to say that, and that's what I'm doing. So my commitment to God is my commitment to you. And if sometimes I feel like I'm giving away free information that has been coveted for years and it took me a long time to figure out, I is what it is, because that was my promise to God, is to teach his people the things that I knew, right? And if I know something, I owe it to you to teach it. I could hide all this from you and make tons of money by myself. I really didn't, I could wait for this to break out, get in right there. That's a perfect buy right there when you break above the 200 SMA. And then you're in the double bottom before it breaks out. And a bit of a cup and handle there, semi-cup and handy to rocket it to the upside for Ethereum. So ETH getting a nice bounce here today, leading the pack. A little bit of bearish div right now, though. And we got to see how this 15-minute plays out. Does it end the story, or do we get a nice little retest? All right. I still don't make mistakes by not putting stop loss for coins I accumulate in, because I keep thinking the dips. Advise me, please, Sammy. I mean, if you're in for the long haul, and I can't advise you, man. I don't do that, right? I'm not a financial advisor. Like I say, you should be taking this financial advice. You got to do whatever makes you happy, my friend. I just go over the charts, all right? Wealth is a byproduct of following your passion. Amen. Amen. So Daddy really is the hottest thing on Soul. Could Daddy pump out of this move to the upside? Daddy's still on the radar. And, even I want to jump into Daddy, but I didn't. You know what I mean? Some people are taking advantage of the hype that we're in super early. Market cap's still pretty small, though. I think he can get to that billion. There's a 10x left in this puppy, in my humble opinion. But I'd put in what I was willing to lose in case it just gets completely, dumped. But we'll see. You know what I mean? Daddy knows best that every mother needs a daddy, right? And chain full of mother-loving ways. Funny. Surviving jail. This is so funny. So yeah, the daddy coin. So anyway, that thing's running through the market. It's consolidating. Even if I didn't know it was Daddy, just that price action looks interesting to me, right? It's showing that it's leveling off. And a lot of times it comes back down to the 618. This one is hovering above that 0.5 right now. And just bounce, you know what I mean? So that signs of bullishness that it never had to revisit the 618. Sir, multiple times I double my account in a week, but when I'm trying to double a big account, I get liquidated. So just take it easy, man, and don't try to do the big accounts. Bubble Map showed 24% insider owns Daddy. Too scary. Yikes. Play the hype. Daddy is Andrew Tate. Yeah. Knot's been hot. Really, Knot's been the hottest thing in the game. All right. And remember, this market can flip at any moment and just go right back to bullish, and then you're out. That's why I don't panic sell and I stay the course, because too many times it'll eat you alive here. But look at Knotcoin consolidating beautifully. It does, the only thing that bugs me out is every time Bitcoin dumps, Knotcoin pumps. So it's like, is Bitcoin going to dump again? But I like Knotcoin here going up another about 25% gain, 22 out of this flag to the upside. I would watch Knotcoin for a possible move here to the upside. Knotcoin on the radar for sure on a Saturday. All right. We take no days off here every single day. We rock the charts, whether sometimes there's one or two trades. Sometimes it's not that much. It's okay. We find whatever's out there. If it's out there, it's out there. And what it does is it gets us ready to be habitually ready for because when the market rips, the Saturday trading will get fun again, and there'll be crazy weekend trading. Usually weekend trading on the summer the summer's going to go by fast. I'm telling you, it's going to be August like this. And before you know it, everything's going to change. So stay on your game, stay focused, right? Anything could happen in a moment, all right? I'm telling you, like, that's why I do cryptocurrency every single day, because one day you'll wake up and you'll take 3 days off the market and miss one of the biggest moves Bitcoin ever had. The biggest moves of Bitcoin's life are in like a 2 or 3 week period. And then there's like a few days really when the markets really move really big. And you'll remember those days. No one knows exactly when they'll be. No one knows exactly how to find them. What we do is we play probabilities and we stay around them. Like I put out that long recently where we got the huge pump. We got the CPI pump, right? But it was all just, just being around. It was one of the bigger one candles. We gave it all back later, but I'm just saying for that moment, it was a beautiful 1 minute, absolute just explosion, right? So you never know when exactly it will happen, but you stay poised and ready, right? All right. What's the hottest coin of the game? Well, I've told you it's not, and I told you it's ton, and we've gone over this, and it's obvious to anyone that knows anything about the markets. And I've talked about it too, and I even said it was the stronger coin. And I went over the fact that it was likely going to break out, and I even gave you a setup for it. And we went over this, And let's see when and I went over this on the weekly screen share 2 weeks in a row and said the market's not amazing, but there's a few things that look like they have some movement. And Ton's one of them. And on 6/6, I put out this move for Ton, right? It was at 7:30. It came back down one more time for that beautiful grab and then pumped out of here to the upside, right? See, it came back down perfectly to 680 and then pumped back up to 8, making a nice almost 30% gain again. How much? Maybe 20 something. Yeah, 20% gain right there for Ton. And to me, the next target is $12.24. That's what the measured move tells me it's going to do. Might even be bigger. Let me make sure I'm not cheating myself there. Yeah, let me add to that. It looks like it's going higher, actually. And what's going to stop Ton? It's going to get more memes, more people are going to know about it, and it's going to continue to grow. And you're going to be able to use your wallet on the Telegram. It just has everybody beat, man. It's pretty obvious to me that Ton's going to continue to grow. So you got to grab something in the Ton ecosystem, be a part of it. I'm hoping just to bang on some memes as it starts to rip or something in the ecosystem, right? So Ton and Cas are the two things that I'm paying attention to. So you got to go to Casplex, check out what's happening there at Casplex. It worked yesterday, then it didn't again. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But Casware, right? Get your Casware wallet. Get ready to figure it out. If you want to get into what's happening with Caspa and KRC20 tokens, obviously high risk at the beginning, but getting in at the beginning is really, really where all the magic happens. So that's what has to, that's what goes down. All right. A little bit of a sell-off now, so be careful. Saturday low volume, the market will go up and down. All right. We talked about BNB being the game changer, right? And it made beautiful move. Came all the way back down. Can you believe that? Right back inside the pattern. You can act like it never left, and it may just pump again. So look for BNB to probably just skyrocket right back out the pattern yet again. In my humble opinion, as weird as that looks, I've seen it happen. I play the pattern as if the pattern never broke out when it stays back inside. If you lose the bottom, then I'll talk about breaking down here. But as long as you stay inside, then we're back on to breaking out again. And my target for 918 does not change, and I don't change despite how weird that looks. I know it's strange, but I'm the king of a pattern that gets broken and put back in place. We use that all the time, and I'll teach my students because a lot of people they'll get thrown off by that. RSS3 is almost pretty simple. It's in the golden pocket, attempting to put in a higher low, getting tight with the moving averages. This is really the accumulation zone for any coin that I've ever seen in my life. So if you like this project, you think it's hot, RSS3 sitting at 25 to 30 cents really to me is the bomb. I think the price right now is about 30 cents for RSS3. So yeah, and the target would be 9. That would be a nice 3x, 91 cents. Anything could happen. It could dump, but you never know. All right. WOJAK's hot. No one is sleeping on WOJAK. We've known WOJAK for a while. WOJAK's been a hot little meme, and it does tend to follow the market pretty well in the rest of the memes. But if WOJAK pumps, so will Floki. If Floki pumps, so will Whiff. They'll all pump, in my humble opinion, so much together. But yeah, it's only a matter of time. It looks like WOJAK eventually may get busy again and start to pump. you know, I kind of gave up on WOJAK, but when I saw it kind of move again, and look, for the long term, WOJAK is just on a massive uptrend. And so, I mean, WOJAK has shown no signs of slowing down. Look at that. Those are massive higher lows in a row. So you're on point with WOJAK, 100%, really. Even if you look at it technically and you didn't know what the coin was. See, a lot of times I do that. It's not even about the meme. I'm going to look at the technicals, right? So someone said IO is looking interesting. I guess you could say it attempted to break out of something. Support and resistance right there. Start to build an idea. Long as it stays above that point of control, looks like it could get all the way back up to, I don't know, 596. This thing was hot sauce, so people may FOMO for it again. Really need it on like the 15 or the 30. It's getting a little overbought there. You'd want to look for it to possibly do a flag or a retest. You look for the flag on that 15 minute. If it is hot, the 21 will come into play, and then they could pump again. It might come pump up here and then make the flag, but I'd be watching for a flag projection. It's all about HOPPY, he says. You like that HOPPY, huh? You know, wow, HOPPY did damage. Look at that. And I kind of, like, I drew that thing, and wow. HOPPY banged on him for a 333. Look at that. Unbelievable. 3333. Insanity. But I did draw that, and we looked at it, and I kind of had this rounded parabola, and wow, HOPPY did the damage. Shout out to anyone that jumped into HOPPY. $24 million market cap, so you got in around $8 million. And this thing is just booming to the upside. Locked liquidity, done clean. I believe this has the guy who made this was on a Spaces with me recently, I'm pretty sure. And so seems like a pretty cool guy. Anyway. Pyth Pedro, yeah, and this is the time to DCA, in my humble opinion, into coins that matter, right? I've been just DCAing and buying even lower than these prices. So I've done my due diligence. I've found what I liked, and I've been building bags, right? I even started grabbing recently some more ARKM. Let's talk about why I grabbed more ARKM and what I see happening for ARKM. Also can be bought there on Coinbase, which is great, right? ARKM, to me, that's accumulation. If it comes up anywhere in here and even up and down in the zone, that's going to be a beautiful accumulation. Obviously, a buy zone right there on the low at 189. Anything below $1, I'd say 150 to 180 is a steal. 150 to $2 is a steal. Does ARKM come down and test 124? We're hoping the market holds. Bitcoin, you know, we get that jump. If we don't, we could be coming to test 161. Either way, I see ARKM continuing its massive move. This is just a massive consolidation for ARKM. And I could be wrong. But for my years of doing this, the tight moving averages, how close we're getting to the 200 and how close price action is with the lower stochastic. And if you look at your 3-day chart, you're starting to get really low. Your 2-day chart, like, you're definitely not chasing. And this is a hot item that refuses to make a lower low. If it does that, fine. But right now it's got a higher low. And that's usually the, you know, a really good place. So if it, you know, I like ARKM right now. I personally have put in close to 7 to 8 grand inside of it. So again, I've been putting in some money into ARKM in the last week, right, at these lower prices. So ARKM's on my radar, and I like what I'm seeing for ARKM. All right. Less than 50% like ratio. Come on, guys. It's a way to say thank you. Manners cost nothing. Shout out to Reggie Classic. God bless you. Who doesn't hit the like? You're doing YouTube wrong, guys. Amen. Amen. If you like your, I always say not hitting the like is strange, because if you like your coins, that means you want people to know about cryptocurrency. If nobody, let's just say, this is sad to say, but let's just say the world gets wiped out and it's just me and you and our coins, and like some nuclear thing happens. Does anyone buy our coins? No. Can we get out of the market? No. There's no one on the other side of the market, right? God forbid that ever happens. My point is, you need other people to know about the coin for you to get out, don't you? Period. And any stock or anything, they always say that's like, oh, it's a pump and dump scheme, but that's how any stock moves. That's how any, in general, someone has to be on the other side of any transaction, right? At the store, like, you need a store to buy the food from it. Like, yeah, you know, I don't know. As simple as that, stupid as that sounds, but you get what I mean? So here's the, I'm going somewhere with this. as long as this sounds. This yarn that I'm a yarn is a way to, a metaphorical way of saying a long story, right? But in this yarn here, so what I'm saying, and I'm gonna get there at one point, I'm just getting old and I like to do this. But what I'm saying is, you think I lost my train of thought, you did, but I didn't. I still got it. I'm still holding it somewhere deep inside, you know. What I'm saying is, people need to know about the coin. And that means people need to know about cryptocurrency. That means any stream that you see that has the word crypto in it, if you're ever walking around, you should just like hit on it and like it, because it can only help it can only help your portfolio in the long run. So if you don't hit the like button, I assume that you can't connect the dots, number one, which means you're kind of dull, all right? Not to be rude. And number two, all right, I assume that you don't want your bags to pump. And so I don't want to be rude and assume anything, so I'm not going to assume those things. So I don't assume those things. So I said it out loud, but I don't assume them. So I don't assume that you're dull, and I don't assume. But I'd like to see that you actually understand the idea behind that, right? So if you like your bags to pump, and you believe that your bags will pump, and you believe in cryptocurrency, you got to hit the like button. If not, it just doesn't make any sense. You're not making sense. Your actions aren't connecting with your overall thesis in life. I'm serious. Like, you're not making a full, a full frequency connection with your behavior and what you're doing. And I expected some softies to tune off right there, because that's what happens. You know what I mean? I will be on X now that they are private and yeah. Make sure that this channel is for great. Yeah. I made 1,500 Hoppy and kept a moon bag. God bless you, man. Good for you, bro. So ARKM on my radar, definitely a coin to watch. Something that we're watching, and something that they, we go over in the trading group, right? So. Bunch of short sellers refusing to like the stream. So funny, right? The like naked short sellers probably too, right? And then everyone's wondering about GME. These are just the topics of the day, right? Wow, Hoppy just continuing to bang on them, up even more. GME, let's take a look. And that's GameStop on Sol. They're also GameStop on Ethereum, but it has less volume, all right? So we even looked at this. It would have been in the green for a little bit. Not a lot, but at one point it was up 30%, the trade. And it's still not stopped out. All right. But look, that's that kind of Adam and Eve double top vibe. When you get that top and that rounded. It's following BTC, right? But so if that 4 hour breaks out on Bitcoin and you get the wedge, then you're going to get the breakout on GME. If you go sideways, you might get it anyway. 88 million, about to crack that $100 million market cap. I don't see how this can't get to $1 billion with all the hype. Coins that have no hype that nobody knows about get to $1 billion. So how this coin doesn't get to $1 billion doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So yeah. Can you do a TA on BEAMX? We'll take a look at BEAMX. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So, GME, I don't know. It's not over yet to me. And the TA ain't too bad. Fib on that is at the 786 Fibonacci, too. That's a known retracement. And you have some resistance and support there at that area. Point of control on the POC. You see that? It's the red line. So very interesting. TA there that really kind of, could play out. You got your lower stochastic. Could GME come back strong and pump all the way to 4.5 cents? Almost feels like you got to throw a grand in GME just to see, right? For me, I'm starting to get this. I've been saying no to putting money into Solana meme coins. I really have, no matter how hard it's been. And I've been DCAing into Bitcoin and doing the right thing, right? While everyone else is just tossing coins left and right. BEAMX even getting a sell-off here, which is kind of crazy. Something I didn't expect. It was one of the stronger coins for a while. But BEAMX getting a bigger sell-off. Every coin really getting beat down. They got retail to freak out, I guess. They really, I heard, on my last stream, I heard a lot of retail type of talk, and it seemed like people were giving up on the market, and they were in a bear market, and we're going lower, and it's over, right? And they were depleted, and so they're getting people to be in a state of disbelief again, which is usually a good time to accumulate, right? But that is also the 618 golden pocket. So we came up here, we pumped. We came up here, we pumped. You know what I mean? Each time you're going to have these pullbacks. This is kind of the succession of a bigger move. All right. Lifer, you have, yeah. Sam, if you were too deep in coins that were too much, what would you move? Being up, you have confidence originally. Yeah, I don't change my thought process. I stay in what I'm in, yeah. And one last thing we'll do is look at KARRAT, and then I'm out of here for the day. I want you guys to get back to your families, get back to the day. It is Saturday. Enjoy the day. You know, a week before the first day of summer, spring is coming to an end. One of the most beautiful days ever is going to be today for you. So stay blessed, stay amazing. Make sure you're hydrated, ready to rock, and enjoy every moment of this day, you know. So sad how many people have to go through tragedy in this life. And like, you know, I lost my mom and dad, and I see other people with way worse tragedy than even what I went through. You know, my parents were getting older. They could have lasted longer. It was sad, but it is what it is, right? Again, it's like kill off the debtors, right? In a way, they always say that when you print too much money, because my mom would have collected a pension for the next 10 years, right? So there was her pension. She was making $7,800 a month. Second she died, they took that away immediately. It's funny that that should go to her kids. Like, she worked so hard for that, but nope. And I'm not saying I needed it. It just felt like something was stolen. Like, oh, there's her pension gone. Day she died, oh, pension's over. You know? Or like that pension was, you know, she worked years for that pension, and she only started getting it after 65, and she died at 73, right? 70, like. So crazy, man. Ah, my mom, man. I love my mom. I miss her more than ever, especially on the days, on Saturdays in the spring and the summer, man. It's when I miss my mom the most, right? All right. Canada has a bill stopping all banks June 20th. Lock it up. Funny. Thanks for making my mornings better, Sam. Have nothing but love for you and the lifers. God bless you, brother. Yeah. Loans and paying and need some more money runs. Be prepared for investments with slow or no gains. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what KARRAT's doing. It pumped really nicely from the beginning. Previous support is resistance. Some people say this is the next Axie Infinity. I have no idea. I don't have any money in it. I'm just doing a TA for somebody. Previous support is resistance. If you pull the Fibonacci, right, you are resting at the 786. So that would tell you that would be a perfect place to get into KARRAT before a big move. All right, everybody, I'm going to jump out of here for the day. May God bless each and every one of you. Bitcoin hovering at 66,300, you know, showing signs of possible life here, right? And can it go sideways? Can the 7-minute get us back above? The 50-minute is flipped now. The 7-minute stays above the 200 SMA. A bullish sign for Bitcoin. A shoulder, a head, a little right shoulder there. Another big move. Looks like they may do a little bit of a short squeeze today. So I'll be back tonight at 8 p.m., remember, and we'll see what happens. What do I see happening? I wouldn't be surprised if when I'm back by 8 p.m., Bitcoin is sideways or has pumped to the upside. If we lose the 200 anytime before that, I will be putting an update to my trading group, and it's likely we're going to fall further to the downside. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. for our double live stream every single Saturday. Wham, bam, bam. Hit you with the 2-time. Get the papers, right? Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Without you, there is no stream. Please hit that like button. Please hit the notification bell. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. All right? Shout out to Rave Song Records, Jeffrey Stonifer, Rebecca Carr, Junio Costa, Bew, Patrick Power, Busta Crypto, Paul Wood, Stephen Campione, and all the beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. All right? Thanks, Sam. Bless up. Yeah. If you want to join the trading group, there's a link right here to cryptolifer.com. Jump on in. All right. If you want to join Blowfin, which is a newer exchange, all right, I Trust Capital and jump into my weekly newsletter. All those links are up there for you. All right. Any single time. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. Let me just show you one last time just in case. But they're here at this pinned comments up here. CryptoLifer.com. Hit that link. It takes you to my website. But you can join today. Jump on in. And you can join into my weekly newsletter by hitting consent and subscribe as well. That'll be easy for you. But join in. I'm telling you right now, 1 month of me drilling you, it doesn't sound right, but becoming a coach, becoming a mentor, pushing you to your limits, making sure you stay true to your goals, staying disciplined. We're going to keep you true to what you say you're going to do if you join the group. So don't be scared. Stay committed. I'm committed every single day, 7 days a week. All right? You can too. I can prove to you that you can do it just like I can. May God bless you all. I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed. Stay amazing. You can. You will. You are the best. And keep positive people in your life. Keep away the negative people. Just stay away from negative people. I'm telling you right now. The best thing you can do is removing negative people out of your life, and knowing when to do so is really a key to success. I love you all. Make it happen. God bless.